So it goes back to the word, profit margin.
Hey everyone, this is Jonathan, and we are here doing whiskey and real estate. I'm here with Jack with Selective Realty Group here in Orlando, Florida, technically Oviedo, Winter Springs, to talk to you about two of the great pairings of this world, real estate and obviously whiskey and / bourbon if you guys are bourbon lovers. That being said, we're gonna get started off today. We're here at General Public House up in Winter Springs. Very cool, it's generalpublichouse.com. We have my main man Ryan here coming up to introduce us with a few drinks, and then we're gonna get rolling with real estate. How we doing?
Right, hello gentlemen. How are we today?
Good.
How are you?
Good. I have a series of drinks for you. This is our first. This is our very old fashioned. It features Angostura bitters, a few dashes, usually coat the bottom, citrus bitters. Okay. Then we add our cherry juice and a cherry. I usually like to store that in the bottom while we fill it with our bourbon. Our American Barrels Bourbon is something we feature in most of our cocktails. Okay, we add a little bit of our sugar. Okay. We then add our large bourbon cube and give it a stir to allow all those ingredients to work together. Once we are done with that, we will add our orange peel to really help the nose of the drink. I like to take a few steps and rim that glass to really hang on to that aroma. And then to activate the orange peel, I will squeeze it, allowing some more of that zest to sit right on top, which is a very important step to allow the first sip of your drink to set the tone for the rest of your cocktail. Add one more cherry, a fancy cocktail straw, and cheers.
This looks really cool. Yeah. So one great thing about General Public House, been coming here for quite a bit, is their cocktails are very fresh and very interesting because I've never had stuff like this before. What do you think?
Very good. Excellent. Nice. I like the zest along with a little hint of vanilla.
Oh yeah, I get that's true. Absolutely, that's
so
very good. It's different.
It is
for sure. And speaking of different, we talk about real estate. Obviously, we talk about flipping houses. You see them on HGTV. You see them on different shows, different channels. Let me ask you. You flipped houses, I know, a bunch of times. How real is it?
It's so fake. It's Hollywood all the way.
All right.
It really is. And the biggest thing is profit margin. Okay. A lot of these houses that they're purchasing, let's face it, they're in California.
Right.
They're paying retail for them. Okay. Right. And then they bring in these contractors, Jonathan, who show up in these fancy rigs and these big brand new trucks and all these gadgets and this, that, and the other, and they're charging top dollar.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So it goes back to the word, profit margin. You know what I'm saying? Okay. They're paying retail on the property. They're bringing in these contractors who are charging, through the roof prices, okay, for roofs.
So can they get away with that? I mean, in California maybe, but here, we're in Florida, obviously. Can they get away with that here in Florida?
No, they can't. Right. They can't. It looks good on TV, okay, but the profit margins just are so right now so thin, okay, and you're working on such small, minute budgets, okay, you've got to do some of the stuff yourself, okay? Gotcha. Here in Central Florida, okay, when you buy a house, okay, there's not that much room, okay? Right. So you're doing a lot of the painting, okay? You're doing a lot of fixtures.
You're your own general contractor.
Yes, you've got to do a lot of the work yourself in order to shave down that profit margin. Right. Okay, let's face it, you can't pick up the phone and call a contractor here in Central Florida to come out and even look at the property for hundreds of dollars.
Right. So you go in as a flipper, you're estimating what the purchase price is going to be. I'm sure in your brain you're saying, I got to do this.
Yes.
And then your X dollars is going to be whatever. Plus, you probably got to pad in unknowns.
Yeah.
do you've got different problems or stuff like that, right?
Yeah, the biggest thing is the unknowns. So, you know, you get in there and you start taking these properties, you start, you know, you demoing this, you start taking a wall out here and you remove a cabinet here or there, you take out a vanity. What's behind that wall?
Right.
Okay, is the plumbing good? Okay, do you have any wood rot? Do you have any termite damage? Okay, so all that's your unknown that you really can't see, you know, from the outside. You know what I'm saying? So you get in there, you don't know until you take it out and you say, oh, you know, listen, half this wall has been eaten up by termites.
Right.
Okay?
Gotcha.
So there's an extra what, $2,000 or $3,000. So your $25,000 budget now turns into like $40,000. Okay?
Yeah.
And a lot of your contractors here in Florida, they won't come out to the job and just say, hey, listen, Jack, it's going to be $40,000. It's going to be $30,000 on a rehab. Why? Because they don't know what's behind those walls. It's all unknown. You know what I'm saying? Let's face it. They get in there, they find out.
They don't know.
They don't know. The plumbing, you know, you're dealing with a house from 1980. It's got polybutylene plumbing in it.
Right,
You
absolutely.
know? So what are they going to do?
And my mom had the exact same problem. So I want to ask you this specific question.
Yes.
Give me a horror story of a house you bought that you flipped that turned into a nightmare.
Actually, right down the road here in Castleberry. In Castleberry.
Okay.
Wood frame house, which I'm not scared of wood frame.
Right.
Listen, you got a termite bond, you're fine.
I'm
But
going to have
lot
a drink
of
on this
people-
one, I
yeah,
just say.
A lot of people are scared of wood frame houses in Florida. Okay? Let's face it. It's wood, you cut it out, you replace it, you're good to go. You got a termite bond, you're fine. A lot of buyers, though, don't want to buy wood frame houses.
Right.
They want concrete block. Okay? Prime example, I bought a house, okay, wood frame. Okay,
Yes.
right here in Castleberry. Nice 3-2, you know, bought right, but it needed so much termite repair, okay? And that's what got me. You know, the lumber material prices go up and down, up and down,
Right.
up and down.
Right.
You know, if there's a hurricane involved, let's face it, what's going to happen to the plywood, to the 2x4s? It's all going up.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you never know where lumber's going to land. It's up, down, okay? And what happened? There was a hurricane, okay? So lumber had been up, all your materials had been up, and you know, I needed probably $25,000 worth of 2x4s, plywood, roof, siding, this, that, and the other by the time you're done, okay? And I didn't estimate. I didn't budget right.
So
I got bit.
Were you upside down?
I was upside down,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
gotcha.
and it happens, you
Right.
know, and it's going to take a couple times. The more flips you do, okay, sooner or later you're gonna get into one, and it's I call it a snake bite. You're
Yes, sir.
gonna get bit, okay. It just happens, but it's all that learning process. This is what makes you a better investor to go down the road, okay. The one I just bought here in Lake Mary, beautiful, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, concrete block. You know, I think I budgeted at about $35,000. I think I'll be into it about 28.
Okay.
So I'm way under budget. Jonathan, it's a nice house. It didn't need the work, but then again, my profit margin, instead of hiring these contractors that want the big money, you know, I was able to go in there and do a lot of work myself.
yourself, right.
You know, I did some of the paintings. You know, let's face it. I grabbed a paintbrush. You know,
Right.
I'm a full-time realtor, but I'm a part-time painter. I painted, okay?
I got you,
You know,
yeah.
hung some mirrors. I did some baseboards. So I was able to save a lot of money,
That's
okay?
awesome.
Instead of paying these contractors, you know, the big money that they want. And let's face it, today you call a contractor and, you know, they want thousands of dollars
sure.
from you, you
Absolutely.
know? And rightfully so. There's a lot of work now.
And we're in a hot market too. And speaking of hot markets, you know, obviously we're in Central Florida. We're here in Orlando. We talk about market trends specifically. How are you looking at the Central Florida market right now as we go? And as we get a new appetizer here.
Wow.
So this is going to be our fried green tomatoes. It is a deep fried sweet green tomato that does feature a pimento cheese spread just underneath it. Typically you do get 4 per order. And I also have another drink for you to try.
Oh, this is good.
Our dark chocolate bourbon. So we're going to be building our dark chocolate bourbon. We're going to need our rocks glass. Then we will need a stalk of cinnamon. Grab our torch. I like to torch it just long enough to allow the stalk to open up. Really let the inside get cooking, which will allow for more smoke. And then gently collect that smoke in our glass. We let it collect for about 10 seconds. In the meantime, we usually grab our Mule bitters, 4 to 6 dashes. Coat the bottom of your glass. Add your American Barrels Bourbon. Add your sugar. Bourbon cube. Fresh cinnamon sprig. Stir it in to allow the smoke, bourbon to fuse together. Dark chocolate bourbon. Which does feature the same American Barrels Bourbon, but it does infuse actual cinnamon smoke into that cocktail.
Yeah, I see the cinnamon stick here. This looks fantastic.
Very nice.
Is there any, okay, so we just pick it up, drink? Is there any specific, okay.
It's set for you.
Awesome.
Please enjoy.
Thank you.
Yes.
Very, very good, very different from this original one here.
Oh yeah, you can taste that potent cinnamon smell there.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's good when you fired the cinnamon stick too. That's really good.
Yes, I'm a cinnamon guy. You know, I love cinnamon, sugar. You know, and that.
You're a Southern boy.
Yes. Oh yeah, and fried green tomatoes.
So speaking of fried green tomatoes, let's try this out. You grab one, I grab one. And again, this is all compliments of General Public House here in Winter Springs. This looks fantastic. Oh, get the pimento cheese for sure, right?
Cheese on here, yes. So yeah, my mom used to make these when we were little, and I actually did not like fried green tomatoes. So this was an acquired taste, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you know. So later on down the road, when I started to get older, you know, I could actually appreciate, you know, a good fried green tomato.
I'm with you as well too. What's really funny too, I don't like tomatoes in general.
Right.
Until I came to General Public House, and the general manager Dirk said, "You really need to try this." And I said, "I'm not a fan of tomatoes in general. Now, I like tomato stuff. I like salsa. I like ketchup, but not a huge fan of fried green tomatoes." He's like, "You gotta try it." And when I tried it, I'm like, "Holy crap! I've been missing out for a while."
And what about the pimento cheese?
Oh, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I can eat a pimento cheese sandwich. You know, just the cheese spread in the bread.
Oh, so good.
You know, it's very good. Yes.
So, as I'm eating this, we were talking about Central Florida real estate.
Yes.
So where are we at right now? It's been a hot market. It's been a hot market for a while.
Yes.
Are we looking for a downturn? Are we looking for stagnation? Are we looking for, what are we looking for?
This market is hot, and it's going to continue to be hot. Why? There's so many people moving to Central Florida every week. Let's face it.
I saw there's an article that came out recently talking about Orlando is the hottest, I shouldn't say hottest, it's the largest moving group in the entire state of Florida. Our population is going to grow immensely based upon these numbers because everybody wants to come to Orlando.
Yes, oh yeah.
More than Miami, more than Tampa, Jacksonville, you name it, this is the place they want to come to. So with that being said, what do you foresee here being in our area from a trend? Do you see this still keep going and going, or what?
Yes, I do. Like you said, everybody's moving to Central Florida, right? So you got 1,000, let's pick a number, 1,000 people a week moving to Central Florida. So what's the first thing? Housing.
Housing, yep.
Okay. What's the second thing? Transportation.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are the two biggest things, okay, in Central Florida.
Right.
Okay. So we need what? More inventory.
Correct.
So what does that cause? Seller's market. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a demand for housing. So sellers still going to get that top dollar for the house.
Right. I mean, I know they're building apartment complexes everywhere right now at this juncture, and housing seems to be, you put a for sale sign up, it's either sold or it's pending pretty quickly based upon those topics. Renting seems to be, those are good, right?
Yeah, very good. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So when people are renting, I'm seeing now rent is going more than what actually buying a house and what your monthly mortgage would be.
Exactly. You're exactly right. And it goes back to, like I said, there's so many people moving here a week and they need transportation, they need housing. So what happens to the rental market? It inflates.
Going through the roof. Right.
Your landlord's over here charging top dollar. Let's face it, that little 3-bedroom, 2-bath that used to be, you know, $1,000, $1,100 a month, now they're getting $1,300, $1,400 a month in rent.
Right. Right.
Okay. Why? Because they can. Because we've got such a shortage in inventory. Okay. The buyers, let's face it, they're still paying what? A premium for these houses.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Anything that's under, $350,000, $400,000, let's face it. If it's good and it's nice, it's gone.
Absolutely.
It's gone.
Absolutely.
So I think we'll be fine, Jonathan.
So you think we're good for at least next year, 2 years from now?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I would say, listen, we got another, 6, 7, 8 years of this run here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. I don't see any downtime. Everywhere you go, you've got construction. The construction industry's booming, like you said. They're building all these apartments. They're building all this retail. They wouldn't be doing that on a hope and a whim that that it's just going to stay that way. They know. Let's face it. These people are spending thousands and thousands of dollars to have these economists come in here and just tell them how it's going to be, demographic, and where our economy is going.
So, and I see these big builders too, the Lennars, D.R. Hortons, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
They're buying these huge tracts of lands. They're building these 200, 300, 400 homes, properties. Zero lot line, because they know they can throw them up fast, which is good. Hey, fantastic for them. But they're pre-selling out of these neighborhoods before they even have a chance for anybody else to come in and come look at it.
Correct.
So if we're on the same trend, and I agree, at least with Central Florida, we're going to continue this for quite a while, especially for people, if they are renting, this is the opportunity they can get in now because they still have money they can still make with the equity in the house they're going to get for the next few years to come, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. I think Ryan's got another appetizer here coming too to kind of go through. Do you like those though?
Excellent. They're very good. The breading is amazing. It's light. It's not a heavy breading. It's a nice light. It
No,
almost
wait.
tastes like
There he is. There he is.
Woo.
Hang on.
Uh-oh.
We got to move some stuff around here.
Yes, sir. So this next board I have for you is our goat cheese bruschetta.
Oh, wow.
It is served on our house crostini. It features goat cheese and a herb relish. It does have beets and tomato in that as well. Enjoy, guys.
Thank you, sir.
So I can tell you for once I've had these before. They're fantastic. And you just want to like shove it in your mouth. Yeah, you go for it. Grab one. I'm going to grab the small one here.
Sounds good to me.
And we'll kind of move on to our next question.
I
here.
love olives, and these here look amazing. So,
Here, take a bite real quick.
oh yeah.
Oh, wow. That is a big bite. I feel like Guy Fieri.
It's a real light balsamic vinegar in this one. It's not too strong. Goes really good with that goat cheese.
So here's the question.
Very nice.
What do you like better?
I'm a Southerner. I stay true to the fried green tomatoes.
All right.
But this is excellent.
That's really
yes,
good.
very
right?
good.
I mean, to me, this is fantastic.
It does. Now, I tell you this. That American Barrel and that balsamic vinegar, take a sip of that after you have that bite of that bruschetta. So, bruschetta.
I'm down. I'm down. Yep. That's good, for sure. This is one good thing too. You pair this together. I like how the flavor flows, for sure. Absolutely. All right, so we got one more drink coming.
Excellent.
I think.
Very well.
And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this new phenomenon called iBuyers. So this is a new terminology I just learned, and I'd like to get, well, hey, we're going to go.
Gentlemen, our house mule. We're going to start with our rosemary smoke. Take our rosemary sprig, light it on fire. Really get that going. And allow that cup to collect all that rosemary smoke. In the meantime, we can build the rest of the cocktail in a spare tin. We will start with our vodka. We will add our lime, sugar. One of my favorite parts is our mint. To activate it, we lay it in our hand, give it a good smack. Tear it up, add it to the tin, add a little bit of ice, add our ginger beer, do what we call an in and out, which is pouring our drink back and forth into the tin to infuse that smoke into the cocktail. Finish with lime, rosemary garnish. House Mule. The smokiness in this cocktail really goes nice with the savoriness of the cheeses with our small plates.
Oh, okay.
Very nice.
Wait, hang on. We got a curveball though.
Yes.
This is not whiskey based.
No.
That defeats our segment, right?
It does, it does. Now, however, a fun fact about mules is they are very versatile. Another popular way to enjoy this type of cocktail is to, in fact, do a Irish whiskey with that.
Oh, okay.
So you can play around with this. There's many different ways to do it. Ginger beer is very complementary to a lot of different spirits. So anytime you have an Irish whiskey, Jameson, you can do a tequila. We feature with that, and other juices really work nicely with this drink.
Well, salute, my friend. I appreciate
Cheers,
this.
gentlemen.
We'll try this out for sure. Here you go, my friend.
Salute.
Salute.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you for coming. As we sit here with our different drinks and try, wow.
Now that is very refreshing. I mean, it's great for, those hot summer days.
You can definitely taste the herbs in here.
That rosemary, it's strong. Oh yeah, it's strong.
Fantastic. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I call myself a chef part-time, and I love, anytime I get a chance to cook with rosemary, I do, okay? Yeah. It gives such a robust flavor to anything, from chicken to prime rib to whatever, but rosemary in this mule,
absolutely,
right.
Absolutely.
It gives it that wow factor,
That's really good, for sure. All right, so going back to the question, iBuyer. I've heard this terminology really, really recently, and I'm trying to figure out the best way of saying it. So help me understand, from your professional experience of an iBuyer, what do they do, how do they do it, who do they go through, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, the simple answer for an iBuyer is it's a company that uses an internet-based price, okay, to buy your home. Okay, they don't want the beat up, junky houses that I want. The ones that need all the work and need tons and tons.
They want turnkey.
They want the turnkey houses. Let's face it. They want to do as less as possible, Jonathan. Less as possible. They want to buy something and they want to offer you this internet pricing that they've came up with on a computer.
Analytics of some sort, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
Maybe it's 25, maybe it's 40% less than market value. But you know what? You don't have to do anything but pack your bags and tell them when you want to be out, and they'll have cash waiting for you at the closing table.
So, that being said, from somebody who needs to get out fast, that may make sense. However, you're leaving money on the table. To be fair, right?
Yes.
So there's big companies out there that we know of, that we've heard, not using their names, obviously.
Right.
So the idea is that if you fit their criteria,
Yes.
if you're in their zip code, they're going to give you money now, today, no questions asked. But if you don't go through a realtor like yourself, you're leaving money on the table, correct?
Exactly.
All right.
So they say, hey, Mr. iBuyer, I need to be out end of the year. I want 60 days to move. I don't want to be pressured. I've got to get my job lined up and out of state. Blah blah blah. I want a little bit longer close. Okay. I don't want to do anything to this house. I just want to walk into the closing table and get my money.
Gotcha.
It might work for them. Okay. You get other sellers and say, hey Jack, listen, I want to net the most amount of money. Okay.
The sophisticated seller.
Yes. He wants to stage it. He wants to go for the high. Okay.
Right.
That's not the vehicle for him.
Correct.
Okay.
Gotcha.
He needs to go out on the market, get it staged, get professionally photos, photographer come in, do all this. Okay. Market the property to its fullest and try to get the maximum list price. The iBuyers down here say, hey, listen, we're going to make you a great deal. It's cash. We'll let you stay your 60 days or however long you do. You don't have to do nothing. Right. Just walk away and meet us at the closing table. That might work for him. So there's two different sides.
There's trade-offs.
Yes.
It depends upon the situation that person's in.
Correct.
But obviously someone who wants to get the most maximum selling power, they're going to use a realtor like yourself. Otherwise, someone's got to go. I got to leave now. The iBuyer make more sense, for that particular purpose.
For me, it's actually working out really good now because I meet with so many different customers throughout my real estate day. Okay, I might meet with a customer here, a customer in Winter Park, or where have you. I've got a good friend of mine. I won't mention his name. He works for an iBuyer. Okay, he manages this company. Okay, and he's like, Jack, listen. Whenever you're out there, if it fits this criteria, and I've got all of his criteria from his zip codes, where they want to be, schools plays a big part of it, let's face it.
Sure. Yep.
They want all A+
Sure.
schools, Winter Springs, Oviedo, blah, blah, blah. They want all A+ schools. If it fits that criteria, which I know what his criteria is, price range, this, that, and the other, he'll say, hey, right now, cash offer. So now it's actually a good thing. For me, I like it, and I'm embracing it. A lot of realtors, they don't like it, but they don't know about it. They don't know enough to educate the seller. And when I come there, I can actually educate the seller and let them know, hey, listen, I can give you an offer right now, and you can go to the closing table.
Right.
As soon as we get title cleared up. Done. Let's face it.
Yep.
We could probably get the title cleared up in maybe 2 weeks. Maybe 3 weeks with the municipal lien searches going on today. You gotta love those, right?
Well, yeah,
right. You're very aware of it. I mean, come on. I hate them, but you know what I'm saying. But once we get the title done, the survey's done, and you get the municipal lien search back, he'll close on it. Okay, he's got to have the municipal lien search, and he's got to have the survey. And if it's clear title, they'll be at the closing table, and they'll give you a check. Well, what does it entail? And after I educate them, because I've been doing this since '99.
Right.
I've sold thousands of homes. I know what it takes. I know how to dodge and weave and get out there and really, educate the seller. Okay, and today that's what you got to do. Okay, so I can do that. And I let them know that, hey, you might take a 35% hit, but you're gonna get that money right now.
Right.
Okay, what I can do is I can come in with a bang up marketing plan. I can list that property at the highest, okay? And it might take us 30, 35 days, but I'm gonna get you more money in your pocket.
You're getting top dollar for the property with the days and time that takes.
Exactly. So, I've got different commission structures, okay? Of course, we've got a la carte services.
Absolutely.
Let's face it. You want a wham bam real quick, thank you, ma'am. We can discount it. You want to go for the, Wall Street Journal. You want to go for your photos. Okay, you want to be in Wall Street Journal up in New York, Miami. I can do that. Okay, it depends what vehicle you want to be in. Okay.
And different markets, different houses did, obviously tells you where you need to be and what markets you want to advertise in, which you're talking New York, they're going to come down, they want the high-end properties.
Correct.
And all that stuff, right.
And the biggest thing today that I ask my sellers is the number one question is time. Let's face it.
Yeah.
How much time do you have, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Are you looking for right now, or are you looking for, you got 30, 40, 60 days to sit on the market? So that's the biggest thing. And a lot of agents, they get scared to ask these questions, and they just don't know because they're not educated. So it goes back to time. If we got time and we can, fish, so to speak,
right.
And see what we can catch, then, we can go for that max. But if you want a real quick price, then maybe that iBuyer is the right vehicle for you. So it all depends, different customers, there's different things. Right now though, the market's so hot, and when you're under that 350, we'll call it the sweet spot in Central Florida. That 350 is a sweet spot. If you're under that 350 and you got a nice house, a good floor plan, you're probably going to sell. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to really need to discount to this iBuyer. Let's face it. Would you?
No, I'm with you.
No.
And speaking of sweet spot, again, I want to thank General Public House for the fantastic cocktails, fantastic appetizers, and helping us out today with the whole whiskey and real estate fashion. Yes. So here, cheers to you, my friend. And everyone, this is Jack Louise with Selective Realty Group. Yes. And thank you very much for tuning in and watching our show today. If you have any questions, you can check us out on our website, as well as you can go and watch us for the next publications. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Very good. So it goes back to the word, profit margin.
Yeah, which makes it.
Little shine.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.